I'm curious, I'd heard an episode you guys just posted about inclusivity in media, that type of thing. How can people make sure that they're keeping this top of mind? So both inclusivity and maybe accessibility, because if we're shifting toward media content, that creates different challenges for people as well. Is that something that stays on your mind while you're creating content? How do you navigate that?
Totally, yeah. Inclusivity is really important to us. Part of the reason why is because, like, I'm a minority, so I notice things, and I think that's, like, the number one advice I can offer is get people on your team or in your corner who represent different backgrounds and different, orientations and all of that, so that you have people who can speak to that and also who notice things. I think sometimes when you just surround yourself with the same type of people, you're going to miss some things. And that's just the way human nature works. So number one, just like make sure that you have people on your team who represent different people. And I think those people will help, and let them like have a seat at the table when it comes to creating content, because they're going to see things that maybe you might miss. I think all of us could, be better with having more voices involved. For us, because we feel a sense of responsibility because we're telling a brand story. So to making sure that we're not alienating anyone. So that's part of the reason why it's top of mind for us too, because we want to make sure that when someone sees, like a piece of content from a brand, that they can see themselves being a part of that brand story too. We don't want to exclude anyone. So I think for us is we're just making sure that we have the right people on the team who can speak to that.
Yeah, and I think it's just really impactful. And on the converse of that is it's a huge missed opportunity if you're not speaking to more than one type of person. Because no matter how much you lean on the key benefits of a product, if it doesn't look like it's for that person or the specific person that's like viewing it, then they just won't relate. Like I saw a really impactful photo the other day. I think it was actually from Old Navy or something like that, but it was a little kid in a wheelchair and he was in Old Navy, and there was an advertisement of a kid in a wheelchair wearing their products, and he was just so hyped because it was like the first time. I think it was the mom sharing it or something, and she was just saying it was the first time he had ever seen any advertisement with someone who looked like him. So it's not even just like ethnic minorities or specifically ethnicity. It's all different types of people, like Mincy said, orientation or even circumstance, like being in a wheelchair or visually impaired. And that comes down to accessibility as well. But if people don't see themselves using that product, even in your advertisements or the media that you're producing, then as much as it could solve their problem, it won't be relevant to them. So.
We also just did an interview, actually, that we just dropped on the podcast about building accessible websites, because I think a lot of people don't think about that maybe when they're building their website. So just a few really simple things is like making sure that, any images that you're producing has like a decent contrast ratio for people who might have visual impairments, and then also making sure like keywords are attached to your images. So just like there are some really simple, small, minor things that people can keep. There's even like checklists that exist on the internet that you can like literally check off as you create content or build a website. So